Yes, please. You can continue.
Should I start?
Yes, let's start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Priya. I'm from HR Consultants. HR Consultants is basically one of the big organization in Pakistan dealing in students admission and visa guidelines for the international students, and we are working from past 27 years. And we work with different prestigious universities in all over the world, like UK, Australia, Canada, US, and Malaysia. And now today we have Miss Eva with us from University of Kent, and she will be giving you some information regarding the University of Kent. And do you have any question answers? You can ask the questions and will answers hopefully. If you want some other information, or if you want to place your application for University of Kent, you can contact me as well. Eva, let's start further. Please introduce about the University of Kent, then we'll proceed further.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me today, and good afternoon to everybody who's watching. My name is Emma Spittles, and I am an International Officer at the University of Kent, and I look after the South Asia region. And I'm very pleased to be able to here today to talk to you about our university and all of the courses that we have on offer, and answer your questions about the application process. So some general introduction about the university itself. So we were established in 1965, and we are a leading academic institution in the UK. We are the UK's European university. Not just because of our location being in southeast of England, we have strong European ties with some campuses in both Paris and Brussels. So we're very much a European institution set in the UK. Before we go into detail about sort of the courses and the university as a whole, I thought it'd be quite nice to start with a very short video, which gives you a bit of an overview about the campus, our setting, and the facilities that are available here at the university.
Okay.
Great. Well, I hope that gives you an idea about sort of our campus and what's available for our students. It decided to play yeah, I was saying, I hope it gives you an idea about the campus and the facilities that are available, and the different kind of areas the students can get involved with when it comes to sort of extracurricular activities that are available throughout the year. So I don't know if it's helpful to give viewers watching sort of an overview about the university, where we are located, and our number ones of our sort of our top courses that are available.
Yeah.
So I don't know, hopefully most of you are familiar with sort of the geography of the UK, but for those of you who are not, Kent is located in the southeastern corner of the UK. Our Canterbury campus is an hour's train ride from central London, and our Medway campus is about 50 minutes from central London. So one of the really great things about Kent is that you enjoy being close to sort of major metropolitan areas such as London and the smaller urban town of Canterbury. But our setting is very much a rural setting. As you probably can see from the background behind me, this is the Canterbury campus. So it is 300 acres, and it provides a really nice rural setting. You are sort of in the midst of the Kent countryside, so lots of wide open spaces, fresh air, green walks and things like that. But you are on the outskirts of the urban centres. You have easy access to everything that an urban centre would bring: shops, cinemas, restaurants, pubs and etc. So you have the best of both in terms of kind of the setting. One of the really great things about the Canterbury campus and the Medway campuses is that because of their large location, we are very spoilt in terms of kind of our land size, but also particularly in given sort of today's current climate with social distancing and those sort of measures that we all have to abide by now, it is very easy to social distance at either of our campuses. Unlike some campuses which tend to be kind of in close proximity, you tend to be kind of confined with lots of people. It's not that case at our campuses. It's very wide open spaces, so it's very easy to move around without feeling such a confined area with lots of people. In terms of our courses, I know for many Pakistan students, they do look for a number of variety of courses. And the great thing about Kent is that we offer over 400 undergraduate programs and over 120 postgraduate programs. So we always say we have something for everybody. So whether you're looking to study in the field of architecture, history, technology, mathematics, we definitely have a course for you. Some of our most popular courses for our Pakistani students tend to be in the field of business, and we have a very strong business school at Kent. The Kent Business School has been running for over 25 years, and it is one of the leading academic schools in the UK when it comes to the field of business. We offer a variety of programs, whether it be in marketing, international business management, or we have an MBA program as well. The Kent Business School does have a large number of partnerships with a lot of multinational organisations, both within the UK but also internationally as well. They offer a series of guest speakers that come in and speak to our students about a number of sort of business industry specific topics. So it's a great way to not only kind of to gain knowledge and experience in the business industry, but it's also a great way to build up networks and make your connections in the particular fields that you're working in. So it's often a very popular topic for our sort of Pakistan students, but also for South Asia as a whole. So it's something to look for when you are looking at courses.
Yeah, that's great. It's a wonderful introduction regarding about the university and about the courses and facilities they are offering. And most of the students have cleared about the university, and especially those courses they are famous for Pakistani students.
Great.
Okay. Emma, could you please explain the entry requirements? Do you offer foundation degrees, or which pathway providers through you guys offer your foundation degrees, and what are the entry requirements for FSC students, those wants to join for foundation, or do you offer FSC students of direct bachelor's entry? And what are the entry requirements for those for direct bachelor's entry for FSC students?
No worries. So I'll start with all the direct entry first, because that tends to be sort of the easiest one that people are most interested in. So for undergraduate students, to be considered for it's a year entry level, Pakistan students have to have completed an undergraduate program. A high school program that's equivalent to a final C GPA of 3 or 70%. So that's usually sort of the two-year bachelor's at 70% or 3 out of 4. There is if you do a bachelor's in technology from an accredited university in Pakistan, again that's a 70% or 3 out of 4. For entry onto our postgraduate programs, it's usually a 4-year bachelor's or professional bachelor's degree from a higher education institution. And that's usually sort of equivalent to a 2-1, which is, again, 70% of 3 out of 4. And a PhD tends to be a little bit higher as well. We do offer a number of conversion programs and foundation programs, which I know they are sometimes popular for our Pakistani students. The entry requirements onto those do vary depending on which program that you select. So my advice would be to check on the website on the individual programs to see how you enter, in terms of your qualifications, what program you can gain entry onto. But a large number of our students from Pakistan do go on to the direct entry level of year 1 onto their particular programs.
Okay, that's great. Ima, I have a question. For those students who have completed 2 years of bachelor's, what arrangements do you have for 2 years of bachelor students? And what are the entry requirements? Yeah.
So it all depends on the program that they've studied. It's something that the decision is made by the academic school. The vast majority will probably go on to the first year of a bachelor's degree if they're looking to do an undergraduate degree. That's usually the case.
If the student has completed 2 years of bachelor's, that is, if students completed BCom with 60 subjects in that degree, he has studied accounting, finance, tax, and that kind of subjects. Is the student eligible for top of year entry or pre-master's entry?
It may be possible. Again, it's all dependent on the individual schools because they all have their own sort of assessment criteria. What usually happens is that when somebody applies, the school and the admissions team will review all of the modules as you just listed and sort of compare and contrast how that meets up with the first year or the second year of the undergraduate degree. But as I said, the vast majority of students who are looking to do an undergraduate degree do usually gain entry onto the first year as a starting point.
Okay. Let's talk about the A-level students. What are the entry requirement, direct entry requirements for A-level students? What grades you will requiring, and how much the UCAS points you will be needing for direct entry into bachelor's for different schools, like for business, for engineering, for law, and others.
So again, I don't want to kind of keep repeating on the same, but it all depends on which program you are looking to study at. I know particularly for, let me just go on to pull up a very popular program and I can give you some more details about that. In terms of, let me just go on to it in a second. I know particularly for undergraduate students, we are currently in kind of hearing process of something that I know that many people are looking at the moment, if you are looking to start it in September 20. So usually sort of A-level students, we do offer that foundation program. So you have to have achieved at least a 60% in your higher secondary school certificate to gain entry onto a foundation program. But again, it does vary depending on which program that you are looking to do. We do have a number of sort of international pathways available to students to consider as a way of gaining entry onto the higher, the undergraduate programs.
Yeah, that is for those students who have completed their higher education degrees over here in Pakistan. That is equivalent to 12 years of education. But for what are the entry requirements for those students who have completed their O levels and A levels? Then what are the grades requirements for direct bachelor's entry?
Sure. So A-level is usually sort of a combination of an ABB or a BBB. That's kind of the minimum sort of requirements. With clearing coming up, the grades tend to be a little bit lower for entry onto September 20. But yeah, that's usually kind of the ABB is kind of, or the BBB is usually the minimum requirement.
Do you accept A-levels application through UCAS, or you also accept direct applications for bachelor's for A-level students?
It's all through UCAS, or everything for the undergrad goes through the UCAS system.
No direct applications?
No. Only for postgraduate do we do direct applications.
Okay. Actually, the students missed the deadlines. No? That was 30th June, and now again students are coming for bachelor's entries, and for those students who have their results are waiting for A levels and they want to apply. That's why I asked if you have. If you accept.
So at the moment, as I said, yeah, you're right, the UCAS deadline was in June, but at the moment we're waiting for the clearing process to happen. So that happens usually sort of the first 2 weeks of August, and that's when people who have that receive their results but have not sort of achieved the required level, they can then apply through the UCAS system to courses for undergraduates starting in September 20. So if you do have any students who have their A-level results or are still waiting for their A-level results and are looking to come in September this year, then they can apply through the clearing process.
Okay, that's great. I have another question is, yes, Tahir, do you have any question?
तो आपके सवाल से पहले I would like to inform all the viewers, जैसा कि आप यूजुअली देख रहे हैं, अभी हमारा सेशन कंटिन्यू है। आज हमारे साथ अवेलेबल है यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैंट के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जो कि डिस्कस करें यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैंट पर, स्पेशली वो स्टूडेंट्स जो अप्लाई करना चाह रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैंट में। अभी अपनी जो भी क्वेरीज है तमाम क्वेरीज को लाइव क्लियर कीजिए, या फिर कॉल कर सकते हैं 0346 4747 पर। अभी आपकी जो भी क्वेरीज है तमाम क्वेरीज को क्लियर किया जाएगा, लाइव क्लियर किया जाएगा। रिलेटेड आईएलटीएस, स्पीच स्ट्रक्चर, यूनिवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड आपकी तमाम जो भी क्वेरीज है अपनी क्वेरीज को अभी क्लियर कीजिए, या फिर नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन पर क्लियर कीजिए, आपकी क्वेरीज को लाइव क्लियर किया जाएगा। यस मिस प्रिया, प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
Thank you, Tahir. One of students have also comment in on Facebook that I have a question. I have asked to ask that question, but he has not asked yet. Please, you can ask Faisal if you have any question, so we can clear it with the university representative. Yeah. Emma, yes, we were talking about entry requirements. We have talked about the entry requirements for A-level students, direct applications. Okay, fine. Do you offer Duolingo test, or you accept Duolingo as an alternate IELTS
Yes,
qualification?
Yeah, I mean, usually for language requirements, it's usually sort of obviously an IELTS or a TOEFL, but I know that not everywhere is offering IELTS. So in this instance, yeah, we will be accepting Duolingo for this year.
Any other English test other than Duolingo you are accepting as an English qualification?
So one thing for viewers to be aware of is that the Kent University offers its own language test. It's called the Kent English Language Test. And this is available to students who have conditional offers that's based on their language. So if you apply to the university and receive an offer from us that is conditional on your language, you have the option to take the Kent Language School Test. And the great thing about this test, it's free for people who are looking to take it. It's conducted online, and it looks at the four main components similar to other tests, such as speaking, listening, writing. So it does cover all those elements, but this is only available to students who have conditional offers from the university.
Okay, that's good. And what are the deadlines for postgrad applications?
For this year?
Yeah, for this year, for September 2020.
So for undergraduates, as I mentioned earlier, you have the clearing process, which comes up in August. Okay, for postgraduate students, the sooner you apply, the better, really. I mean, we are still accepting applications for programs starting in September 20. But obviously, we're nearly in August now. So if you haven't applied yet, we are thinking about doing so. Then our advice is to apply as soon as you can, just because obviously there is a number of processes we have to go through to review your application and to get offers out, and etc. So it's the sooner you apply, the sooner you can get that ball rolling.
And do you have any deadline for English test?
No, not really. Not for September 20 intake. No, I think that English tests are usually valid for 2 years. So if you have an existing IELTS that's taken in the last 2 years, then you can apply using that. Okay,
that's great. Emma, please explain one thing, that in September you are going to start commencing face-to-face or blended studies. Which type of studies you are offering in your campus, and what arrangements you have done if we consider about the COVID situation?
Sure. So in September, we are very committed to all of our courses starting in sort of mid-September. This year, they will be taught in a blended approach. And what that means is that all of the lectures, sort of, the larger scale events where there normally is a lot of people attending, they will be conducted online. So individual schools will kind of make arrangements, whether it be from Zoom or another platform, where students can join the lectures live on an online session. But each class will have an element of face-to-face interaction. So what that means is that smaller sessions, such as kind of seminars or discussion groups, will be conducted in person on campus. They will be done at a smaller number, just obviously to maintain that social distance elements, but there will be that face-to-face interaction. Also, students will have face-to-face interaction with their lecturers and with their academics. So that again will be conducted on campus. The great thing about having a blended approach is that we can try to maintain the social distancing measures, but also giving students the opportunity to have that student experience, which I know for many international students is one of the main reasons of studying abroad, is not only obviously to partake in higher education, but also to have that on-campus student experience. So being able to maintain a small portion of that through at least the first term will enable students to remain on campus, to have that face-to-face interaction, but also have a campus experience. So all of our essential services, the shops, the cafes, the restaurants will all still be open for students, but obviously within social distance measures still applied.
Okay, now most of the students have cleared about the blended studies or online studies, because mostly students are considering that we are going for online studies and we are not going to university, and most of the students were concerned about this question as well. Now it's cleared now. Okay, my next question is, do you offer any placement programs for masters, for undergrad or for postgrad students? And is that placement is like a guaranteed placement, or do you guys charge any additional fee for that placement? Please
Okay,
explain.
so starting with the postgraduate programs, there are a number of programs that offer a year in placement or year in industry. The popular ones that immediately come to mind is many of the business school programs. I know that the law programs as well, many of them offer that placement year, and some of the computer science programs as well. And this will be available to postgraduate students after they've completed their 1 year masters. And the year in industry is a great opportunity for students to gain practical experience and knowledge immediately after their studies. So it's a way of kind of gaining that experience in the field that they want to work in. So the placement scheme is very much led by the student. So it's the student's responsibility to go out and secure a placement opportunity, but they won't be doing it alone. The university and the schools will be there to support them and guide them through this process. The placement usually lasts between 3 and 12 months, so it can be up to a year. It is fully paid, so you will receive a wage for your work there. And it's the number of sort of the industries that you can work in is endless. Obviously, it all depends on the field that you're working in. But each school will have its own partnerships with a number of organisations, whether it be sort of local level council jobs or whether it be sort of multinational organisations such as Microsoft or Cisco. There are opportunities to sort of have a look and see if you can get an placement option for that. As I said, it is pushed by the students, but the school will be there to support you. So we will provide you with guidance and advice on how to go out and seek the employment opportunities. And we will help you in terms of kind of giving you tips on your CV and how to sell yourself to potential employers. We also have employers coming in on campus and presenting to students about how to look for jobs within their sector and giving them tips on things like that. So it's a really popular way for many international students in particular to gain practical experience immediately after their studies. For undergraduate schools, there are some programs that offer opportunities such as, through the Erasmus program, you can study internationally in Europe, but there's also study abroad year. There are a number of programs. I know some of the law programs do offer the study abroad option for its students, whereby you could, as part of your 3 or 4 year program, you can then study at an institution overseas for a semester. So that is available, but it all depends on which program you are selecting. I think I would just kind of just stress that not every undergrad and postgraduate program offers these opportunities. So you just have to be aware of that when you are looking at what program you want to study.
Okay, fine. What are those scholarships available for postgrad or undergrad students?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we do offer a large number of scholarships, and I think that's one of the really sort of great selling points about Kent, is that we offer a wide variety of scholarships available for both undergraduate and postgraduate. I think for me, the first message I would say on scholarships is that at the moment, we're not offering any more scholarships for studying in September 20. The reason for that is that the deadline for scholarships, it finished in May this year. So all of the funding we had for scholarships has now been allocated to students who are coming in this September. But for everybody who's looking to study next year, we certainly have a lot of options available when it comes to seeking funding support. For Pakistan students in particular, our sort of flagship scholarship program is the Best Way Scholarships. And each year we provide £30,000 for 6 students to study at Kent at a postgraduate level. So this particular program is available to students who are looking to study in the STEM subjects. So anything to do with sort of computing, engineering, and mathematics and actuarial science would all be eligible to apply for this particular program. And it's virtually a fully funded program. So it covers the tuition fees and maintenance of up to £30,000. So it is essentially a fully funded program. And it's something that we do recommend postgraduate students consider if they meet the eligibility in terms of the courses. For undergraduate students, we do offer an academic excellence scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship. So if you achieve a very high score on your undergraduate, on your A-levels or high school certificates, then there is a possibility that you could be given a £2,000 bursary towards your tuition fees automatically. Undergraduate students can also apply for the International Student Scholarship. That provides £8,000 towards the tuition fees. So there's lots of options for people to look at, as well as the sort of the central Kent scholarships. The individual schools also have their own bursary system. So it's possible for you to get up to £3,000 to £5,000 from the school themselves as well. So there's lots of funding opportunities. On our website, there is a scholarships finder. So when you are coming to complete your application, do make sure you have a look through the scholarships finder to see which programs you will be eligible for. It gives you further details about that and how to apply for them.
Okay, fine. Okay, my next question is, when are you going to start in September intake? Like it will be in September or it's delayed till October, and what are the latest course start dates for September session?
So we are still on course for our September start. I think most students will be arriving around the week of the 16th of September, and there will be a 2-week fresher week. So a lot of the fresher activities will be conducted online, such as kind of the fairs and the welcome week and stuff like that. A lot of the activities will be done online. That 2-week of fresher week will obviously fall in line with any sort of quarantine period that I know that some students might need to adhere to once they arrive in the UK. So we have put procedures in place whereby students can quarantine on campus. So you will have a dedicated area like halls of residence whereby you will be quarantining, and we will be providing services and support for students who have to quarantine for the 2 weeks on arrival in the UK. So all of that will be you will be catered for.
Okay, thank you. It means students have to quarantine for 14 days or 2 weeks, and then they can join the university or
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fine, thank you. And when are you guys starting issuing cash letters for this intake September session? As you know that visa centers are going to open in Islamabad, then when you are going to issue cash letters
So
to apply.
CASs usually start issuing from sort of July time onwards. So students, we have been issuing CASs, but we know, as you just said, that the visa centres, not just in Pakistan, but in many countries, that they're still closed or they're currently sort of in the process of reopening. So we know fully well how difficult it's going to be for some students to get their visas ready. But the advice that we have is that in terms of your Kent application, just continuing with that, meeting any conditions if you have any, and as soon as all of the conditions are met and you will receive your unconditional offer, we will issue you with your CAS to be able to start applying for the visa.
Okay, that's great. Fine now. I think most of the questions are cleared. And Emma, if you have anything else to talk about, you can speak to our students. And students, and my message is for students that if you want to study in Kent University, they can now apply for the Kent. Do you have one intake, only seven? Do you offering in only one intake like in September, or do you offer in January intake as well?
So the vast majority of our courses all come with a September intake. Obviously, all of our undergraduate programs start in September, and the vast majority of our postgraduate programs also in September. There are a small number of programs that offer January starts, in particular law programs at postgraduate level, and some international relations and politics programs, particularly those based at our Paris and Brussels campus. They all offer a January start as well.
Okay, that's fine. Now students can apply for January intake as well for a few courses, limited
Exactly.
courses.
Yeah.
And what are the fee structure for postgrad and undergrad students before
So,
scholarship?
yeah, the fee structure for the fee starting in 21, they haven't been released as yet. But to give you an idea about sort of the fee structure, for postgraduate programs, it usually varies between 16 and 19,000 for the year. And for undergraduates, it's usually between sort of 13 and 16,000.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think most of the students, most of the questions have cleared now, and student got the detailed answer about the courses, about the fee structure, scholarships, placements, entry requirements. Anything else you want to share with us, Ima?
I think just a couple of things really. I've done a few of these sessions with students from Pakistan, and some of the other things that tend to come up might be helpful. I know that accommodation comes up quite a lot in terms of what options are available at Kent. So at each of our campuses, both the Canterbury and Medway campus, we have a large supply of student accommodation. At our Canterbury campus, we have over 5,000 rooms available. So supply generally is never an issue when it comes to kind of securing a room. The advice I would give for people who are looking to opt for student accommodation is, as soon as you get your offer from Kent, it's at that point you need to start looking at accommodation and reserving a room, just because if you want to get sort of your preference, then it's always good to reserve it as soon as you are able to, really. And that is done through our application portal, which is available on the accommodation pages. So on the accommodation pages, it gives you sort of a breakdown of the room types available. So whether it's ensuite or shared bathroom, we have catered or self-catering. So there's lots of different options depending on your preferences. So definitely, as soon as you can, look to reserving your accommodation. The other thing that might be of interest to viewers is we've spoken a lot about sort of the academic facilities that are available and the courses that you could select. Another aspect of coming to Kent University is the social aspect of being a student at our university. So we have a large Kent union, which is a very active union for our students, and they offer a number of sort of social activities. Through that, they have a number of societies. and particularly sort of there's a lot of sort of regional societies, so there will be a South Asian society. But there's also a lot of thematic societies as well, so whether if it's arts or cooking or sports or cinema, film club, whatever you're interested in, there's definitely going to be a society for you. So the advice I would give to students is, obviously once you get settled in and sort of, adjusting to your life at the university, do look at the clubs and the societies that are available, because it's a great way to enjoy, make the most of the student experience, meet other people, get out and about and learn new things and sort of experience new opportunities. So it's a great opportunity to sort of enjoy the student experience. Also on campus, we have a fully equipped sports centre. So it comes with a gym, and we do a lot of sort of lunchtime classes in yoga or Pilates, whatever you're interested in. There's also a number of sort of sport clubs, so whether it be cricket, basketball, football, hockey, whatever your sport interest, there's definitely going to be a club for you. So again, if sports are your thing, then please do look at that as an option to sort of, expanding your experiences there. And we also have sort of another aspect of Canterbury campus is that there is a cinema that runs sort of films regularly. There's also a theatre where you can get involved with the sort of art productions as well. So there's lots of opportunities to kind of do things beyond your studies, and we definitely recommend that students do that.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Yes, Tahir?
Mr. Man, can you tell us, I have a few questions. First, can you tell us about what's the requirement for postgraduate program? What's the minimum requirement, CGPA requirement for postgraduate programs? What's the minimum CGPA required for postgraduate programs? Can you tell us?
Mm-hmm. So usually it's equivalent to a 3 out of 4 or 70%.
Okay, 70%. Okay, my next question is, you are offering 1-year master program or 2-year master program?
1-year master's programs. The majority are 1-year masters.
And student can work with master program? Student can work with master program?
So yes, under the current conditions of a student visa, students are permitted to work up to 20 hours per week whilst they are studying. So that obviously means sort of a small part-time job that you can help to supplement your income. But obviously, I'm sure that your viewers are aware that the UK in the last year has introduced the post-study work visa, which will enable international students to remain in the UK for up to 2 years after they finish their studies, if they gain employment. So again, that's the option as well when it comes to sort of work. And one of the key messages that's something that Kent is particularly proud of is that 95% of our students do go on to get meaningful employment after they finish their studies. So our employability rate is very strong, and we do have a dedicated career service that would really help provide support and guidance to our students when they are looking to transition from student to their career.
Okay, my last question.
Okay, you can ask.
My last question is, student can apply without IELTS in Kent University?
Apply without IELTS, as you're saying?
Yes, student can apply without IELTS.
Yes, absolutely. You don't have to have taken the test before you apply. So I know at the moment, obviously, with IELTS being an issue in Pakistan, our advice is, yes, please do continue with your Kent application. And if we do need, then we will send you details about how to meet the language requirements when we will offer you a place.
Emma, do you accept English proficiency letters to waive IELTS conditions?
Yes, yeah, we will do.
Okay, that's great. This is one of the best point to apply for the program or postgrad or undergrad on English proficiency letters, no?
Exactly.
Yes, that is a very good thing for international students.
Definitely makes it easier.
Yeah, it's a bit easier. Okay, Tahir, any other question you have?
I don't have any question. You can continue.
Sorry?
You can continue. If you have any question, then tell me. Otherwise, if I'm winding up.
Okay. Students, if you want to study in Kent University specifically, you can contact HR consultants. My name is Fariha, as I already told you guys. My number is 0346 4747002. You can visit our office in Islamabad Beverly Center. We are fully operational and open for the students. You can visit us as well. You can contact me on my WhatsApp number. You can contact me on my phone. We can start your application process and go ahead with the process till visa application. That's
Yes,
that's fine.
what's your message from students before
Emma,
leave the
do you
session?
have any?
Oh, sorry, the sound is there. I mean, I think we've covered a lot today, so I hope that answers all of your questions. But do get in touch with either us at Kent or at HR Consultants. We are happy to help answer as many questions as you can. You consider the University of Kent as an option to continue your studies. It's a great university to work at and to study at, and we offer lots of courses, so please do look on our website for further details.
Thank you so much, both of you that you joined us today, especially thanks to Ms. Rima that you joined us today, and Ms. Maria, you joined us today, thank you. And I would like to inform all the viewers कि जैसा कि आपने देखा है कि आपने आज हमारा सेशन बहुत ज़बरदस्त सेशन था, बहुत इंटरेक्टिव सेशन था हमारा। कैंट यूनिवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड बहुत से ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने सवालात किए, इंक्वायरी प्लेस की थी, उससे रिलेटेड भी बहुत सही। आई होप कि स्टूडेंट्स की इंक्वायरीज जो है वो क्लियर हुई होंगी कैंट यूनिवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड, फी स्ट्रक्चर से रिलेटेड, जैसा कि आपने देखा डिस्कशन हुई है, यूनिवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड डिस्कशन हुई है, फी स्ट्रक्चर से रिलेटेड ओवरऑल इस पर डिस्कशन हुई है। तो ये भी बताया गया है सेशन में, जैसा कि आपने सुना होगा कि कमिंग डेट ओपन है, वीजास ओपन है, तो उस पर स्पेशली जो कैंट यूनिवर्सिटी में अप्लाई करना चाह रहे हैं फौरन से अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स व्हाट्सएप करें इस परीक्षा को। स्पेशली जो इस्लामाबाद में रहने वाले स्टूडेंट हैं वो फौरन से इस परीक्षा को विजिट कर सकते हैं अपने तमाम एजुकेशनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्लस एजुकेशनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स की कॉपीज के साथ। 034647470002 इस परीक्षा का नंबर है, जिसे आप हमसे कांटेक्ट व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं। आपको कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड की जाएगी। अगर आप विजिट करना चाहते हैं अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स लाना मत भूलिए। अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स लाने का पर्पस ये होगा कि आपके डॉक्यूमेंट्स देखकर आपको बेस्ट ऑप्शंस प्रोवाइड की जाएंगी। तो आज का हमारा सेशन में यहीं पर एंड करना चाहूँगा। वंस अगेन टू बोथ ऑफ यू दैट यू जॉइन अस टुडे, और मैं अपने व्यूअर्स को भी थैंक यू करना चाहूँगा कि जिन्होंने हमें ज्वाइन किया, जो हमारे सेशंस देख रहे हैं। आई होप कि आप सबके लिए बहुत इंटरेक्टिव सेशंस होंगे। इंशाल्लाह आपको बहुत सी इससे चीज़ें गैदर होंगी और आप जो है वो फर्दर इसकी एडवांटेजेस होंगे आपको सेशंस की। तो आज का अपना सेशन मैं यहीं पर एंड करना चाहूँगा। स्टे सेफ, थैंक यू, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
Thank you, Emma. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.